play Tchaikovsky Morning, and I've sent the score to you. It's the first, actually, the first piece in the score that I sent you. Whoops, we just lost you again. Do you want to just play it for us, or do you want to say something first?
Yeah, no, I'll play and maybe then I can say my ideas of pianimals in this piece.
Okay. Hmm. Great. Beautiful. It's a beautiful piece. What a way to open a set of children's pieces. Morning prayer. It's just a sweet thing. And of course, the wonderful thing about these miniatures is because, Tchaikovsky is a great composer, so all the structural elements of a big, huge composition are still here in this tiny little thing. He has the phrase basically comes twice, and then second time it goes somewhere else. So it's basically just a period, like two 8 bar phrases, and then a coda. Yeah, and that just it's so simple, and the coda comes almost like too soon, but actually it comes just when it needs to. But the way you get into that coda is so special, and then how it takes you through the end. So beautiful playing. So why don't you tell me what were you thinking about as you prepared this piece, and how did you
Uh,
pianimalize this lovely composition of Tchaikovsky?
yeah, I feel that is a good opportunity to feel the stand up. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so. Because it could be maybe like a possibility is an organ
Yeah.
by the title maybe. So
Hmm.
um,
Or it's a chorale, definitely.
mhm.
It's a choir. Yeah.
Yeah, but an organ very soft,
Yeah, yeah.
very
Hmm.
very far away
Hmm.
maybe, and yeah, very tender, something tender. And
Hmm.
I feel very well with this kind of choral, the
Hmm.
stand up, but the softness of uh, stand up. and in this part, I think I was thinking in the empty step,
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah, yeah.
uh, because it needs presence, but in the background.
This is very good. Yeah, for those
And
of you who are new, Tai Chi, in Tai Chi, you don't just walk, because when I take a step, my weight shifts at the same time as I'm stepping. So in Tai Chi, you take the step and delay the weight shift. So it's two different things. Take a step, shift the weight. Take a step, shift the weight. So in order to make sure that I don't shift the weight prematurely, I take an empty step and I tap the. Yeah. And so in piano playing, if you stand on one, that's your yang leg, the standing leg, and now I'm taking an empty step. So for those of you who haven't found that in Pianimals yet, that's what Alejandra was talking about. And yes, you did it very, very well. So I felt that you did beautifully, because when you stand up like that, these four voices really sound like four voices. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, soprano, alto, tenor, bass. Yeah. I can really hear each member of that choir or that vocal quartet. They're all contributing. When you sort of, it's very nice, but it's more homogeneous. It sounds like a nice chord. Yeah. And somehow it's still a very beautiful sounding chord. Sorry. So, by the way, did you notice what I was doing? Did you play with no pedal? Did you use pedal or not?
yeah, I am using
Did you
pedal.
hear? Did you hear? I just did all that with no pedal. My foot is nowhere near my pedal. Yeah? So, if you practice this with no pedal, you see I can do a legato on an upright piano without using any pedal. You do not take the keys all the way up. They go 3/4 of the way up and they're down again. And then, so that's one thing. But then you have to add one more thing. I felt that yours is beautiful. And again, it was like with Grace, we need one little extra step to make it over the top into like ethereal, mystical, like from another planet. Like, wow, what is that? And now I will use pedal. And do you see I'm standing up, but my arm is doing a longer line. Watch my body. Sorry. So I actually have to use my body. Yeah, and then and I slowed down that bar. Yeah, yeah. So there's got to be some way to make that. And I do hear chorale more than I hear organ, because if you conceptualize organ, you will not move your arms and your body as much. But if you hear voices, then you're going to want, and you should listen to Russian choir, because this is a Russian choir. This is not your Anglican or whatever, Catholic, whatever. No, these are Russians, and they have the most amazing legato. I don't even know how. I hear it in my head. I'd have to find a recording to play. Just go and you go slower. But when you go slower, you don't stop moving. You see how no matter how fast, how slow, there's this movement, and it's going there, and it's like a choral conductor who will take his voices, and he will pretend that those damn singers, you don't need to breathe. You need to sing. And the whole thing is going to be one long. So I've sung in choirs that I know you have to stagger breathe. So you actually you just you agree with your section mates. Okay, I'll breathe at the end of the second measure. You breathe at the end of the third measure, and nobody will hear any breath.
Yeah.
So can you globalize this sense of standing up so that the standing up goes into a longer arm movement, and you
Yeah.
let your body go a little bit more with the arm. It's not just the arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Just
many places the body could go. Pardon me?
yeah. In fact, I feel that this felt this wasn't enough in me, the floating arm to conduct the melodies. And yeah, yeah, it's
Try.
probably right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is section 8 of Pianimals. This is the whole body. This is where we actually, to make the long line as organic as possible, we don't just move our arms nicely. If the arms are going right, the body goes right, and the arms go left. If the arms are going away, the body can go somewhere to help that happen too. Try.
Yeah. Okay. I try it all without pedal.
Oh no! Don't do that. I wanted to hear the second thing I did first. Try this one first.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm. Watch. No, don't do that at the end.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah. I
yeah,
searching the
you
way.
gotta have somewhere to go. You could also do this. Yeah? It's choreographing it. Wow. But it's, I don't know. It's, for me, this stuff is really weird. you're playing an electronic keyboard, and I can hear the change in the music. It's astonishing. It's
Yeah,
really it's a
a
very
bit.
very different sound.
Yeah, less than in acoustic, no? But
Yeah. It's a
I,
different communication.
yeah,
Now look, maybe some people would disagree. Oh, she's moving too much this way or that. But you're trying it out. That was a first approximation. You will try
yeah,
many many things until you find. Yeah. So, but the thing is the background intention. I am going to shape this. There's a way of shaping a long line when I am biologically involved with that. I'm not just, my head wants to shape a long line. No, I will move. My body, my cells, my being will move in a way that expresses a long line. And of course, it will be different every time. But now you were doing it. That was great. Now
yeah.
let's, what? Yeah?
I try it different ways.
Yeah.
I know. Uh, I I wasn't very comfortable,
No,
but
of course not.
it was an exploration, and I know that I must allow the movement to not to be on the right in G exactly, but uh, just allow it.
Yeah. Especially move across the bar. The one thing you didn't do in the coda, so you did this. Uh-uh. Yeah? And then you did this. No. Yeah? So across the bar, across the bar. It's a little bit like we want to define the first beat, and we have to define the first beat. Defining the first beat is the dance of music. It's the rhythm. It's da di 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 da di. Yeah. Going across the bar and undefining the first beat is singing. That's the 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 melodic element. And in all music, we're always balancing. We want 12% rhythm, 88% melodic. We want 40% rhythm, 60% melodic. We want 75% rhythm, and just a little 25% melodic. In whatever we're playing, there's always that question somewhere in the musical consciousness. And so the more lyrical it is, of course, the more we're going to go with melodic, and we're going to gently smooth over the rhythmic definition points. So especially in the coda, you make sure you do not go dum da like that. Okay?
Can I try it?
Yeah, please. No, you see? There, that's completely different. No, look, that's right. Look, if you want a tenuto bar on it, tenuto bar, fine. But I think you should have as one option the possibility to move through. And what I'm seeing is you don't know how to do that. Like you need to have choice. So you need to be able to move through, or you need to be able to define. Yeah, but you need both. So I don't know which one you're going to do, but if you can move through really beautifully, then I know that whatever you do it's an artistic choice and not a technical limitation. Okay, so that's just you need to get used to 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. Now, would you please do the first thing we said, which is oh, I lost my music here. I dragged it down. Would you please, no pedal, no pedal, no pedal. Aha! Yeah! Yeah! I love it. those you need to play non-staccato. You need to play them legato. Yeah. You like? You see, this is of course this is a practice technique. But when you play it like that, then you see, have I mastered
Mm-hmm.
flowing from one chord to the next? Have I mastered the horizontal vocal quality of all these four voices as they move through? So it's very, very good practice. And then you may even decide that you like that clarity of voicing, because the pedal mixes them all up, but the no pedal makes the voices even clearer. So you may even decide you want to use that as an interpretive strategy, not just as a practice technique. But that's for you to work out. Great.
Yeah, yeah, and in fact, this one
Yeah.
is the most difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. So you practice like this. Yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah. So the fingers make the notes. The arms join the notes. Now you are absolutely clear about that. Especially when you have to repeat. If I don't hear an impact, ba ah. If I hear la la, my arms did that la la. My fingers got the keys down. I don't even know how. I can practice like that, but always the arm, 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 arm. It's one arm. Yeah? So this is very a rigorous approach to this, which opens up the horizontal flow and the voice leading, the individuality of the chorale voices, which it'll give you many things to play with in this piece. Do you have any other questions about it? Is that enough to go on for now?
I just have a comment
Yeah.
um, about dynamics in morning prayer. Um, it says at the middle and 2 points forte,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I feel not too much forte because it's like you said before, a quartet. Uh,
Yeah. You think of a Russian choir forte, it's not louder, it's just fuller. I mean, it
yeah,
is louder, but it doesn't feel louder. It feels, oh, it just opens.
okay.
Because if you go louder forte, you'll go down like that, and then it's horrible. But if you do just stand up more, then as long as you're standing up and there's no impact, no trying to play forte, you can actually play pretty loud without this sense of struggling to play loud. As long as you keep that arm breathing and moving through.
Mhm.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, so you don't overdo the forte. What's comfortable, a comfortable filling.
Yeah, my last observation about mm, myself and at this moment is like I before this lesson I was adjusting the plane of the right and the left, and I was trying floating my arm but laterally,
Mm-hmm.
and I forgot this
Ah,
one
uh-huh.
and yeah, mixed movements. So yeah, I realized a
Yeah.
lot of
Especially for chorale, because this chorale is not moving around the keyboard at all. It's very static. So you need this one.
that. Mhm.
This you're not going to get very far here because there's nowhere to go. The chords are just staying mostly in one place.
Yeah, yeah, and up and down and yeah,
Yeah, it's forward and
you
back.
yeah, movement. Thank you, Alan.
Can I open up the floor to other comments from the rest of you? Yes, Grace.
Um, I've noticed over the last few months of working on Pianimals that the flamingo Pianimal has been very helpful for me, like on the long notes of
Mm-hmm.
morning prayer, to keep the motion, this this type of movement I wasn't able to do before.
Uh-huh.
And
Cool.
so changing of directions and just keeping the sound moving by holding the key has been a real help for me.
Yeah. Holding the key and floating the arm somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. And it's funny, this moving arm becomes a reflection of the moving sound.
Mhm.
Or the sound gets to express itself in this moving arm. And strangely enough, when you move the arm, the sustain of the piano actually it's longer, which is, who can explain it, but it is a thing.
Yeah. Well, the pianimals do ingrain themselves. And when
Uh-huh.
I was playing, I was just kind of having fun. And all of a sudden, my hand started doing this. And I thought, whoa,
Uh-huh. Wow, cool.
yeah, it really works. Yeah.
Great, great. They're taking over.
Yes.
You're becoming a menagerie. Yeah. Anybody else? I must say, David wrote something lovely in the chat, like fabulous playing a deceptively tricky piece. Yes, it absolutely is. Yeah. Great. Thank you very much, Alejandra, for jumping in, and thanks, Grace, for jumping in on short notice.
Thank you, Alan.
And David's going to. Now, who wants to go next?